Hello everyone, my name is Xenos Forever, and sorry, anyways, so if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know this, but I love Pokemon. I mean, I've been playing Pokemon since I was 5 years old, or 6 years old if you want to go by when I got my first real game. And if you're returned to the channel, yes, But as you can probably tell by the title, I just finished Pokemon Ultra Moon. Now, I've heard a lot of people giving Game Freak and Nintendo flack for this one being a remake before a year after the original was released. Thing is, I just played through the entire main campaign, and there's enough different stuff for this to be considered like a yellow version or a crystal version or emerald or platinum. Yeah, something along those lines. I mean, it's not quite to the level. It's not quite to Black 2 and White 2, but now, is it good? Is it a good game? Well, give me a sec, and I'll just tell you my thoughts on it, and then if you want, you can go out and decide for yourself. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm in a good mood for once when doing a review instead of being bland or completely pissed off. And that's because I really enjoyed this game. So, I mean, I know I just come out and say it right then if I really enjoy a game or not, but, sorry, because my lamp gave off kind of a reddish glow, I switched to using my phone as a light, and it's a little late to change the lighting now, but I'll work on that eventually. Anyways, so if you guys have seen my Pokemon Go review, then you know that one of my biggest complaints with that was the lack of music. Like, they only had 3 or 4 tracks in the entire game. And yes, I know the Pokemon Go is, I don't know, I mean, I haven't touched it since, Christ. Well, I haven't touched it since the review, at least. I mean, I deleted it off my phone a while back, because I was just sick of getting pissed off at the reviews. Anyways, because I agreed with the majority of the bad reviews. Anyways, this game has phenomenally beautiful music design. I especially love the Mantine surfing, but I'll get to that eventually. What I love about the Mantine surfing most of all was just the awesome music. That's the sort of thing. When I went to Florida last year, I think. Yeah, it was last year because that's when my wrist started hurting. Anyways, my mother actually paid for a surf lesson for me, and that is the sort of thing I would want on to surf to, the Mantine surfing soundtrack. But however, I do have a couple of gripes. First off, the trainer battle music just seems a little out of place. I mean, maybe it's because I've been helping my little cousin work his way through Omega Ruby, or maybe it's because I've been playing some of the Gen 6 games in my free time. Maybe it's just because I've been playing a lot of The Witcher 3, some Shadow of Mordor, not Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War still. Oh yeah, the Slaughter Tribe came out today, didn't it? I'll have to check that out later. Anyways, but it's not really gonna affect my Shadow of War review. Anyway, so the music, the trainer battle music did feel a little off. I mean, it just felt. I don't know if it's because I'm used to. I don't know if it's because I'm more used to the older style of trainer music, like what you'd find in. I mean, that stuff sounds like. I mean, the trainer battle music sounds like what you have in a battle against May or Brendan in Gen 3. And then there's also one other gripe I have with the music, and that is the Kahuna theme. For those of you who aren't familiar with the difference between Gen 7 and the others, is that there are no gym leaders. Although there is that mock gym that I absolutely despised in Ula Ula in Ula Ula in Malie City, or however you pronounce it. Anyways, so instead you have a series of trials. Originally 7 trials, but then they eventually added it in Mina, right? The fairy trial, which really pissed me off. Anyways, so but where was I? Oh yeah, so the Kahuna theme. I like the introduction to it, but then it just switches to something that you'd hear in, like, a gym leader battle. Sorry, just if I tighten it, it might not hurt as badly. The Kahuna theme the opening is a great promise, and then the promise is mishandled. Honestly, the music is still incredible. I mean, for most Pokemon games, I just don't pay attention to the music for the most part because it just fades into the background. But with this one, I kind of want Just out of curiosity, does anyone know if Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon have the same soundtrack as Sun and Moon? Because I think they've already released Sun and Moon soundtrack. But yeah, that's the degree I love this soundtrack. So honestly, I'd give the music a... Crap, where'd that paper go? Oh, is this it? Oh yeah, that's right, I moved it over here. Anyways, I just want to add a pen still. Give me a sec, guys. Holy crap, it's hard to see anything in here. And this pencil will have to do. It's one of my drawing pencils, but... Anyways, so... The music is definitely deserving of a 9, because that is how good it is. It's just, the music is great, it just falters in some places. It's like if you're at a piano concerto, or watching the Ring Cycle, and someone accidentally sings high G instead of high C. And you, Anyways, but anyways, I'd give the music for Pokemon Ultra Moon. I don't know about Sun, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. And next up, I want to talk about the character design. And by that, I mean the Pokemon! For those of you who don't know, like I said earlier, I've been playing Pokemon since I was a little kid. I grew up with most of these characters. And the fact that I get to see so many of them come back, as well as a bunch of new characters. But anyways, I'm not going to go into the design of every little Pokemon. I mean, Stuffle kind of... It kind of reminds me of this little Black Bear plushie that I used to have years ago. I think I brought him in at kindergarten for show and tell. Well, it was more like show and hell. But anyways, I actually called him Blackberry. One of the Stuffles... I know the Stuffle I caught in Ultra Moon I nicknamed Blackberry, but anyways, so I actually want to talk about my main team. Like, what I felt... I had a good... with Sun, I actually leaned more towards Ghost, more than I had in any previous generation. I had 3 Ghosts on my team. Strider, my Decidueye, Nebula, Nebby, essentially, and then Seamy, my Mimikyu, with my Toucannon, Lumberjack, and Chowder, my Snorlax, filling up the last slots. Of course, there's still the empty slot, but I think that goes to Frodo right now. Frodo being Strider's son. Anyways... So with this time around, I actually went with Primarina, and I'm not ashamed to admit I reset about 12 or more times to get a female Primarina. I don't care about shiny starters. If I can get one via breeding, fine. If not, oh well. Someone else will want the starter instead on the GTS. But anyways. And I fell heels over head in love with my Primarina, who I nicknamed Priscilla. Again, I've been playing a lot of The Witcher 3. If you haven't gotten to The Witcher 3, look up the Woven Storm. If the search bar is still up here, just type in Woven Storm or Priscilla's Song. It should come up pretty quickly. Anyways, but then my team started off with your usual early stuff like Caterpie, Grubbin. I'm trying to think. Yungoos, who I nicknamed Zoltan because, well, I know most people compare it to the Dumbass in Chief. Yes, I said it. Come after me. I know most people compare Yungoos and Gumshoos to the Dumbass in Chief, but, to be perfectly honest, I think... I'm actually more reminded of Zoltan Shive from the Witcher series. I would have called him Yarpin, but Yarpin... Does Yarpin even make an appearance in The Witcher? I don't think so. I mean, Zoltan is more recognizable because of his mohawk and kind of straggly beard. I think it got shaved off in the first game, but that's... I'm getting distracted. But anyway, and I really got attached to my Pokemon. Let's see. I have let's see. For the most part, I had Priscilla, Yennefer, my Pikachu, who I caught as a Pichu and then evolved into a Pikachu. With how many times she gets knocked out, I'm surprised she evolved at all. Then after that, we've got Volpe, my Zoroark, who hey, Dan Dickerson, if you're watching this video, thanks for the tip on finding Zorua. Because Volpe is one of my best bait and switch Pokemon. Other than the fact he has the ability Illusion, he also tanks a bit of damage while I heal someone else up after they get knocked out. Then after that, we've got James, crap, what was he? Malamar, right. For those of you who don't know, apparently in the X and Y series of the anime, James got an Inkay. But considering I wouldn't be able to, I don't think I can find coughing in Alola without maybe trading or going through the Ultra Wormhole, which is, I'll get to that again later. Sorry, just my. Okay, that looks better. Anyways, but anyways, so since I probably wouldn't find a coughing to evolve into wheezing, I actually nicknamed my Inkay James because, well, what else was I gonna nickname him? Cuttlefish. But anyways, I also had Jessie at one point, my Arbok, but I had actually swapped her out at one point for crap. What did I swap Jessie out for? I know I swapped. I'm trying to remember who I swapped Jessie out for. I think it was on. I think I swapped. I think I actually swapped her out for my Bagon, who then evolved. Who then I eventually evolved into Salamence. But I'm not entirely sure. Jessie in my Arbok was actually pretty useful, except for the fact that she didn't have that many poison attacks. She was more useful for catching Pokemon. I know, because Jessie and James can't catch for crap. Anyways, and then the final member of my team that I know for certain was Sunny, my Arcanine. Mom, Dad, Emily, if you watch this, well, it's kind of obvious why, right? Why I nicknamed him that. But okay, I'm actually gonna go a bit personal for a little bit. If you want, I'll just put a timestamp here or in the description, like I did with my Shadow of War review. But actually, I think I might be going a little easy on this game because it came at a time when I really needed it. The Sunday before my dog Sunny passed away. The last thing I wanted to wake up to that morning was Mom opening my door and saying, "Sunny's dying. Come say goodbye." It just, and I mean, I lost Eminem, my other dog, 2 years ago when I was still in college. But Eminem was, I think of Eminem more as like Eminem's like my sister's dog, whereas Sunny was more my puppy. Just so it just, and I actually told my friend Meredith that I think I made a mistake saying my Arcanine Sunny. I considered swapping him out for Gavin at one point, my event Rockruff, but I figured fight through the pain, eh? You still got Sunbow. I'm sorry, just give me a sec. So anyways, enough about my team. Let's actually talk about the characters they meet you along the way. First off, you've got your rival Hao, who is still fun as ever. You've got Lily, who I see as like a little sister of sorts. Let's see. Then there's Professor Kukui, who last year I would actually refer to as Professor Kakui on accent because Kakui means cool in Japanese. It's just whereas the Kukui is actually the candlenut tree, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But it's just a bit of a play on words. No, I am not going to make a. I'm not going to. Someone tell Sans to shut up. Anyways, I mean, you've got your same cast. Got your same core cast of characters. You've got the professor. You've got the assistant. You've got the rival. Although I think the rival could be divided into two people, like with X and Y, instead of just one rival like every other game. Well, I wouldn't count Bianca as a rival because she's not really one for battling. Charon, though. But anyways, I suppose you could split the duty of rival between Hao and Gladian, or Gladian. I alternate between Gladian and Gladian, but I prefer Gladian myself. Anyways, so you got that. You've got your trial captains who are the same people as last time. You've got Ilima, you've got Kiawe, you've got Lana, who I forgot later. I know I forgot her when I was talking about Marlin in my Worst Bosses review. Anyways, you've got oh crap, Mallow. I wanted to call her Malin, but like like your friend from Ocarina of Time. Anyways, you've got Sophocles. Honestly, I prefer Euripides, but oh come on, you guys don't know. Okay, yeah, I get that was a bad joke. Anyways, then you've got Acerola. Then you actually have the new trial captain. Well, she actually has a trial this time. She was in the first two games, but now she's in this one as well. Mina, who is a bit annoying actually, because you have to go back and battle all the other trial captains, collecting petals from them to deal with her totem, Ribombi, which really infuriated me because that was one of two trials I had trouble with. Because Ribombi kept using crap, I forget what the move was, but it kept boosting its special attack, special defense, and speed. So I eventually had to resort to trying to take out its partners before getting to it. Eventually, though, Sunny was able to take it down with a nice, well-placed physical Inferno Overdrive. But it wasn't nearly as bad as Mallow's trial. That Lurantis was just bad. I mean, I was down to the wire. It was just Sunny left, and then I just came back, wiped the floor with Lurantis as soon as it stopped being able to use Solar Blade on the first turn. The first turn that it started charging it up. And then you've got the Kahunas who I think have really good personalities. You've got Hala, the Kahuna of Melee, who's sort of a patriarchal figure. I'm trying to think of. I could have sworn I had something for this. I had something for this. I know I had something for this, but anyways, moving on. Anyways, then you've got Olivia, the sort of a motherly figure. I mean, although Lily did refer to Kukui's wife as more of a mother than hers was, but Olivia just feels like that sweet aunt that you always want to spend the night at. Then you've got Nanu, who's really reluctant to be a Kahuna, and he actually says, via Acerola, that he'd be darned if he became a member of the Elite Four just because some guy asked him to. And then you've got Hapu, who's the newest Kahuna after her grandfather passed away some time ago. Each of them has their own little story. Hala being the first you come across, he's actually the one to gift you your Pokemon. Olivia is keeping a watch over the ruins of life due to the fact that Team Skull's interfering. Nanu is reluctant to be a Kahuna. He was chosen, but he doesn't want the duty. And then Hapu has been trying to become Kahuna ever since her grandfather died. But anyways, the characters are well done. The Pokemon, I still enjoy the design of most of them. I mean, there are some that are a little, undercooked, I guess. Voltorb and Electrode. Okay, all jokes aside about Voltorb and Electrode, I think that some of the designs could have been done a little better. But just out of curiosity, does anyone else read Kiawe with Zuko's voice? You know, Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender. I swear, I read it with Zuko's voice. I forget what it's Dante something, right? Dante Bosco, I think? But anyways, I really think that the characters are well done. Better than, say, I don't know, Shadow of War. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'd give the characters an effortless 9 as well. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I'm being light on the game. So let's talk about the graphics. First off, I want to say this. I have one really big gripe with Sun, Moon, and their Ultra counterparts. No 3D! I mean, it's on the 3DS! I mean, even a game like Miitopia that has little to no business being 3D still has 3D. I mean, I get it. We're getting to the end of the 3DS life cycle, but come on! I mean, X and Y had 3D for their air Pokemon. Excuse me. But seriously, that is one of the biggest gripes I had with That's one of the biggest gripes I have with Pokemon Sun and Moon, that there is no 3D. I mean, I actually resorted to playing on my Fire Emblem system because it lagged a bit on my main system. At any rate, I am a little miffed by that there's no 3D capability for the 3DS game. I know. The next Pokemon game is going to be on the Switch, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it because I don't have a Switch. I don't have the money to get it. I haven't gotten a job yet. And, well, Duster isn't really selling well. I could have sworn I had my copy here somewhere. Here it is. Still available on Amazon, by the way. Anyways, all joking aside, the graphics are still really good. I mean, they're fantastically done. But I still am kind of pissed off that that there's no 3D capability for Gen 7. I get it. I guess maybe they're trying to move on to when they get to Generation 8 on the Switch, they don't want people to be used to the 3D. I guess it's more or less just a gimmick of say 2013 for Pokemon games, but still, I mean, come on, you could at least give it a proper send-off with 3D, right? But yeah, so the graphics would have been a 10 because of this. I love the art style. I love the art style. I love the character design. I love the Pokemon design. I love the animations. However, I'm gonna put it as an 8 because no 3D on a 3DS. Now then. We've gone over the music, we've gone over the characters, we've gone over the graphic. Let's talk about the story. I'm gonna try not to spoil it so much, but honestly, I bloody love the story. It starts off like your regular Pokemon game. You move into a new town, new region, new neighbors, new Pokemon, new everything. But then it just spirals pretty quickly into something that's, although it's kind of hard to tell at first glance, unless I'm reading Gladian and Lily's text wrong completely, this story is a lot more mature than it let on. I mean, there are themes of abandonment and abuse according to what I read from Lily and Gladian. And then there's also and then in this one there's also the introduction of the Ultra Recon Squad, who although they are minor characters, they do unlock a new sort of mini game for you. But yeah, the story, originally the story was very minimalistic. I mean, it was just beat the 8 gym leaders, become the champion. It was like Dark Souls storytelling. Like you you were building your own story from the ground up. Your Pokemon, your team, your adventure. And then as time went on, the story became more to the forefront. Let's see. I think it was more in Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby where you actually started to sorry, just my nose is kind of stuffy, but anyways, I think that was more when the story started to come more to the forefront. Because you were dealing more often, and you were dealing with Team Magma more often, and Team Magma and Team Aqua more often than you would Team Rocket in the previous games. Then and then eventually the story started becoming more and more in there. Like the story, like you were building to the story that was already existing. It was like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign of sorts. Now, I do have one major gripe with the story of Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's way too much hand-holding. I mean, most of Melee Island felt more like a tutorial. Like, whereas most Pokemon games give you like a 2-minute tutorial, like how to battle, and then how to catch Pokemon, and then you're set. This one, though, it just felt like the story... In Sun and Moon, it felt like the story was going a little too much. This one, though, it seemed to have learned its lesson, and the story isn't nearly as hand-holdy. In fact, I actually had trouble trying to figure out where Ilima was for Mina's trial. So anyways, I'm going to give the story a perfect 10, because I bloody love the story. You can agree with me, disagree with me, I don't care. I love this story. So... And now, finally, let's talk about the gameplay. It's your standard Pokemon game. So the type advantages are still the same as before. You know, normal's weak to fighting, fighting's weak to flying and psychic, and then it just spirals from there. Of course, Fairy was introduced in Generation 6, so Dragon is no longer the overpowered type it always was, with Ice being extremely weak, being extremely rare. I mean, jeez, I'm trying to think. Jinx, Lapras, Cloyster, and Dugong were the original Ice types. Then you've got Swinub. Then you got Swinub, and it's Swinub, Piloswine, Delibird, Smoochum. I'm trying to think if there are any other Ice types that were introduced in Gen 2, but Ice type, I think, is still one of the rarest types, so the introduction of Fairy, with Dragon being weak to only itself, Ice, and Fairy, the Fairies balance out Dragon a bit better, whereas before Dragons were the be-all, end-all of Pokemon. You got a Dragon on your team, unless someone's got an Ice type, they're boned, essentially. So the battling is still the same, although the UI could have used quite a few tweaks. I actually preferred the setup from X and Y instead of this one. It just it felt like there was too much open space in the. I mean, I get it. You were using it to show off to use the stats, but I honestly didn't really care for this layout. I mean, I kind of wish that there was a way to arrange the layout to a different manner, but that's just me, I guess. And then there's also the Rotom Dex. Rotom. Okay, so you remember how a few minutes ago I said that the first game was a little too handholdy? Rotom was a big culprit of that. He was always pointing you where to go. Then from there you've got the Rotom Dex upgrade, which I want to throttle. Seriously, Rotom is annoying as all hell. I mean, I know I can't stand idiots, but annoying people are just as bad. He's not nearly to Liam Costa annoying, but he is pretty annoying, especially when he's constantly making remarks about tips that he's given you at least 5 times already. He does give you some contextual dialogue, like he did in the previous game. He does show you where you're supposed to go. Not as handholdy though, so not an arrow pointing to where the next checkpoint is. But he does get quite annoying when he keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over again, like 5 times in a session. And it's not just that, but when you change screens, like if you open the menu to switch around your Pokemon, like if I had to move Volpe into first position because I'm taking on a Ghost, that would be an example of and then as soon as I closed it, Rotom would say, "Hey, here's some advice, even though you didn't ask for it." And then he proceeds to tell me something I've known for years. I'm a veteran player. Can we please maybe get a hard mode or at least turn the hints off? Rotom is quite annoying. And for that, I'm actually going to dock gameplay by 3 points, putting it at a 7 out of 10. I know that I am a bit harsh on gameplay when it's very annoying, but if it's a feature of the game, then it shouldn't be as annoying as you think it is. And Rotom is pretty annoying. So let me just, because my phone's using the light, hang on a sec. Let's pull up the calculator. So let's see what we got here. We've got a 9 for music. Wait, no, that's 8. Sorry, so 9 for music plus 9. Oh, I probably shouldn't touch the screen, huh? For characters, plus 8 for graphics, plus 10 for story, plus 7 for gameplay, 43 divided by 5. So, if I round up, Pokemon on Ultra Moon gets an 8.6 out of 10. It will get a 9 out of 10. Pretty damn good. However, because I don't round, it's an 8.6 out of 10. So, good on you, Pokemon. I mean, it's not nearly as good as what I'd rank Silver. I mean, I'd still put Silver as a perfect 10 out of 10. I mean, you should just... I mean, I actually tried to record Pokemon Silver, but my capture card kept glitching for some reason. I think it was the software, but anyways, At any rate, an 8.6 for this game, which I hold in very high esteem. This is basically... I mean, if I round it, this will be a 9 out of 10 effortlessly. And I love this game. I mean, it's an improvement over Sun and Moon in a lot of ways. I mean, normally I think of Emerald as, like, extra content. I feel like this should have been what Sun and Moon weren't. I feel like this should have been Sun and Moon. But anyways, I've jabbered on for long enough. So anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching this video. What are your thoughts on this game? You like it? You hate it? You don't really care? Please, let me know in the comments below. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button down below. It very much helps. And as always, I'll see you next time. Until then, live long and prosper, and arrivederci.
Hello, you. Not you, the other one. Yes, you. Are you looking for a good read? Then please consider picking up Duster, the debut novel by everyone's favorite madman. Excluding the Joker.